Karachi is Pakistan's industrial and financial center, and its most cosmopolitan city. Karachi handles 95% of Pakistan's foreign trade, accounts for 20% of its GDP, and approximately 90% of multinational corporations operating in Pakistan are headquartered in Karachi. However, in 2017, Karachi was rated the 7th least livable city in the world out of 140 cities, and received one of the lowest ratings for culture and environment. With a population of 22 million, Karachi is the third most densely populated city in the world. Karachi's urban planning and management has been unable to keep pace with its rapidly growing population, and recent land use patterns suggest that Karachi could be at a breaking point in terms of sustainability. Karachi's antithetical reputation, being less livable than other Pakistani cities and yet Pakistan's preeminent city, stems from a complicated history with waves of migration that has created a dense and fractionalized city and centralized but fragmented governance structure. In the mid-19th century, Karachi, then a part of India, was a small fishing town with a population of 14,000. The development of the Sindh Railway in 1861 provided the infrastructure to transport goods and people into Karachi, supporting India's growing cotton trade. Between 1881 and the end of the century, Karachi's population nearly doubled as its importance as a gateway for commodities continued to increase. From then until 1947, Karachi's population grew at a steady pace, supported by agricultural production and trade. With partition in 1947, the population skyrocketed when more than 600,000 refugees moved from India to Karachi. Continued economic development after partition brought more newcomers from rural areas of Pakistan, such as Punjab and Balochistan, further increasing density. Between 1941 and 1961, the population grew by 432%, a rate which scholars say no city anywhere else in the world has experienced. The refugees could not be accommodated into formal housing, and therefore occupied open spaces in the city center and public buildings. Many of these areas remain today, acting as informal settlements for low-income populations and migrants. The density of Karachi continues to increase. Studies on settlements in the inner-city areas show that densities have increased from 600 people per hectare in the 1970s to 4,000 people in 2010. In the case of informal settlements, high densities have created physical and social problems. The number of people per room sometimes exceeds 15, and the reduction in open spaces around houses to make room for more housing has meant that many people don't know each other, and as a result, families are uncomfortable with women and children going out of the home. Sustained high-rise development and speculative activity in the housing and commercial markets in core city areas could increase economic well-being for some residents, but high housing prices will likely worsen the exclusionary nature of urban development in Karachi and introduce more congestion with negative environmental externalities. Poor governance has severely impacted Karachi's ability to deal with increased density and develop in a sustainable manner. Unresolved political conflicts and competition for control of city assets has led to the fragmentation and decay of critical institutions such as the city government, land control agencies, and civil utilities. Furthermore, the government has relied on construction to solve urban problems, as opposed to solving underlying issues. For example, to address traffic congestion, the government has built flyovers and underpasses, rather than considering broader issues of traffic management. According to the World Economic Forum, in 2016, Karachi was one of the 5 most polluted cities in the world, and according to the World Health Organization, about 29,000 deaths occur yearly in Pakistan due to environmental problems. Air pollution in Karachi causes multiple types of respiratory diseases among the city's residents, and 23% of patients admitted to the civil hospital were diagnosed with respiratory tract infection. One aspect of cities that should not be overlooked is the presence of green and public spaces and the importance of preserving such spaces during development. The most significant issues with the reduction of green spaces are environmental. For example, urban heat islands occur when cities replace natural land cover with dense concentrations of pavement, buildings, and other surfaces that absorb heat. This effect increases air pollution levels, energy costs from air conditioning, and heat-related illnesses, particularly for low-income populations. In 2015, southern Pakistan suffered a heat wave during which temperatures as high as 120 degrees Fahrenheit struck Karachi, and approximately 2,000 people died from dehydration and heat stroke. Such heat waves are symptoms of climate change exacerbated by rapid urbanization. Experts believe that an increase in green spaces such as trees, vegetation, and green roofs could have diminished the severity of this event in Karachi. Additionally, experts have increasingly emphasized the importance of urban forestry for reducing pollution and improving citizen health. Studies have demonstrated the positive impact of green spaces on citizens' life expectancy, mental health, and cardiovascular health. However, the National Forum for Environment and Health in Pakistan claims that from 2005 to 2016, the government uprooted approximately 164,000 roadside trees. Even without greenery, public spaces such as landscape boulevards and plazas affect the ambiance, real estate value, and civic culture of communities. They can reduce work-related stress, enhance the desirability of a city, increase productivity, and attract human capital. Furthermore, studies have shown that public spaces help foster inter-ethnic understanding by providing opportunities for people to meet, which might not happen in an organized setting. As Dawn, a local Pakistani newspaper, highlighted in an article in 2013, today, parks in Karachi are not a luxury, but a necessity for the people who live in cramped and congested neighborhoods. Parks are not just used by the elite, but have become essential for all residents of the city. Historically, many Muslim cities have featured parks, stemming from the tradition of the Islamic garden as a place of rest and reflection. The northern Pakistani city of Lahore features the beautiful Shalimar Gardens, but given Karachi's rapid development after partition, this has not been a significant feature in Karachi. While more than 20% of the land within the administrative boundary of Karachi district includes the Kirtar National Park, it lies at a considerable distance from the population center, thereby preventing access by many citizens, particularly those from low-income populations that live in the most cramped and non-green neighborhoods. Karachi suffers from a significant lack of green and public spaces within the city, and these already rare spaces continue to disappear with continued commercial development. Among 28 megacities around the world, including cities in India and Bangladesh, Karachi has the least amount of green space. Furthermore, a decrease in these spaces from 2001 to 2013 coincides with the introduction of major development projects such as road infrastructure beginning in 2001. Large areas of vacant land in prime areas are closed to the public and neglected. Sidewalks in the main commercial areas are broken down, converted to unregulated parking areas, or used for dumping trash. Women have lamented a lack of safe playgrounds and recreational activities for children, and many public spaces are unsafe for women themselves. In 2017, Karachi and the World Bank launched the Karachi Neighborhood Improvement Project with the goal of enhancing public spaces. The exact nature of investments will be determined through participatory planning, but will likely include safety features for pedestrians, new or upgraded neighborhood parks and playgrounds, infrastructure to foster street activities such as kiosks for vendors and temporary street closure for festivals, and improved municipal services in public areas such as street lighting and garbage collection. Even without the help of outside agencies, Karachi has slowly taken steps for public spaces. In 2015, the Adolji Dinshaw Road project restored 2 landmark historical buildings. It also turned a road previously used for cars into a pedestrian street, enabling residents to stroll in a street that was previously impossible to access on foot. Another example of improvement of public spaces is Pakistan Chowk, a locality that housed many middle and upper-class migrants after partition and became an educational hub. Over the years, it had turned into a commercialized, congested area. The Pakistan Chowk Community Center, previously used as a garbage dump, was cleaned and reclaimed as a public space for residents to engage in recreation and civil society. As we study urbanization and how to improve cities, we must not forget that cities should be an enjoyable, healthy place to live, and that small changes such as adding public and green spaces can substantially increase the health and mental well-being of residents, as well as provide environmental benefits. As one of the cities in the world with the least amount of green space, Karachi has a long way to go, but the inauguration of a number of projects prioritizing public spaces may represent a step in the right direction. The next step will be to ensure that trees and nature are incorporated into the city, as current projects have focused on public spaces without the green element. This will help Karachi reap the full environmental and health benefits of these spaces. Different Karachi government agencies will need to coordinate to ensure that current public spaces are not given away for private development, and rundown areas should be handed over for more beneficial public use. In this way, Karachi can boost civic pride, revitalize urban heritage, and improve urban livability.